It's 6:30. We'll call the meeting to order. Start with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to you, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
You gotta tell the card next week yet?
Do it.
Still look at that.
Let us pray. Lord, thank you for allowing us to come together this evening to discuss the business of the city. We ask that you watch over this meeting, that you guide us with heart and spirit, and provide us with the facts, and lead us to decisions that are true and right in the best interest of the citizens of Lakeside City. Amen.
And I will do roll call. Mayor Corey Glassburn.
Here.
Kim Williams. Here. Colby Caper.
Here.
William Rutledge.
Here.
Brad Snowden.
Here.
Charles Scarborough. Here. Attorney Brett Hale.
Here.
City Administrator Eric Stevens.
Present.
And I'm Allison Sanders, City Secretary, and I'm here as well.
Thank you. Brings number 4, citizens comments.
Yes, we got Mr. Steve Holloway. He would like to address both 7E and 7G. Go ahead, Steve. Sure.
Sometimes it's a little tough. I know this is a point in time in this meeting for public comment and what have you, but on something, an agenda that's put out Friday, there's not a lot of time for a citizen to do legwork and there are things going on that get in the way and interfere with their ability to research that. So sometimes you can come off of this feeling foolish. And the reason I say that is because I have no idea what the amendments may or may not be that you guys are going to consider. And obviously council will decide whether to amend or not. I got that. I have no idea what you're looking at to amend. We used to do it all the time. We'd have things, we'd add some money to the roads, we'd take some money away from the roads, do amendments all the time. But I have no idea what to, you guys can't respond to me or you can't ask me questions at this point in time. It would seem to be more suited for my comments or whatever to come whenever I knew what the amendments were. And I may have none rather than stand up here and say something that sounds foolish or pointless, you know. So that's just some feedback on that. And the same thing is true of the sewer thing you guys look at. I have no idea how many quotes you got, if any. I'm still going to stand by what I've said all along. I would encourage not to spend money with the city, not spend money on something that's not going to resolve the problem. If we spend money on pumping these tanks out and inspecting what we have, all we have is data and some pumped out septic tanks. Some of them may not even need it, but once you pop the lid, you'll know. I got that. But if it's not, if I'm going to keep saying it, if I is a problem, and I know that it is, especially with number 3 in the condition that it may or may not be in, I is the problem. Whatever monies you guys spend needs to be pointed right towards that. The other stuff pales. It pales. You don't get as much ROI. I spoke about that. You know, the ROI needs to be there. You know, that you have something in your hand when the day is done for whatever money you spend. And that's, I pay. I've been before Wichita Falls twice now. Once to do battle over the lake lots, and once for Base Camp Lindsay. And each time, whenever that agenda item came up, that's whenever I spoke and asked questions, and there was dialogue. There was two-way dialogue between council and myself, or some, we had some other citizens that actually spoke, I think, too. I don't think I was the only one. So that's why I throw it out there. But I figured that was safe and sorry, I'm going to kind of let you guys know. Thanks.
No, that's all I have.
Moves to number 5, items of community interest.
Lonnie, I'll let you go first.
All right.
August runs, we had 6 EMT runs, 1 motor vehicle accident, and 6 fires. 2 of those fires were the flare on 1954. People were calling that a fire in the trees. It was just that flare from that gas plant. We had put in a grant for rehab equipment for $5,000. Another grant for hazmat equipment for $10,000. Now, if we get to serve, we are not hazmat certified. This is for the 4 gas meters. It tells us oxygen levels, hydrogen sulfide levels, carbon monoxide levels, lower explosive levels, and variety of gases. If we can detect something like that, it's getting pretty bad, we'll call it shortfalls. We'll let you guys get paid for it, deal with it. The rehab equipment, that is looking at maybe getting a trailer where guys can get inside the trailer, cool off, warm up, whatever the conditions are outside. Plus, we've had a fan. We set a fan outside the trailer on him, cool guys off and brush fire or house fire. Fish fry going well. Looks like we sold about 500 tickets. I haven't got to talk to the dog yet, get the exact number, but we sell 500, we're round up and do 550. That's how many we're gonna cook for us. We'll be able to sell, say, 50 people at walk up. Still getting some auction items in, which is good. Our end of the building's going really well. Thank you, Wade. My gosh. Sheet rock is hung. We just have a couple of walls where plumbers are working. And thank you, Keith Walsh, for doing the plumbing for us. Those 2 guys are saving our rear ends. So to speak.
Excellent.
Thank you all.
For city manager, I just got a couple things. The only things I got, asphalt pavers should be laying asphalt tomorrow. The prep work and due to rain, and then I think they had a death on their crew or something like that, or family member or something close to them. So, and then asphalt plant where they get the asphalt, here in Sioux Falls was down for a couple of days. So they should be starting, tomorrow, laying asphalt, as long as everything goes. And then I'll make a comment about just no discussion about Steve stuff. The way we do the council meetings, the way it's been for when I got here, we haven't changed anything. If y'all want to change something, that's y'all's decision. If y'all want to do something different, but now I don't know how they did it 20 years ago when Steve was mayor, or how long it was. But I haven't reinvented the wheel or changed anything. I just keep it by the book the way Amy had it. It's pretty successful the way Amy had it. So, yeah. So I'll say that much. And so I haven't changed anything. Agendas, they're only required to be put out 72 hours in advance. We try to do it quicker than that, but, Friday is more than 72 hours. There's sometimes that we don't get them out the Saturday afternoon, but that's just sort of how the thing falls now. I'm one of those, I'm open book. Anybody gets any questions, they can call me. I'll definitely be glad to lead them in that direction. So, other than that, that's all I got for city manager.
Thank you. Finish number 6, consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion when we're ready.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Councilman Stoney makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, for seconds, discussion between the council. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Motion passes. Brings us to 7, regular agenda, 7A. Discussion consideration on COVID-19 status updates and city protocols.
We've had this for several months now, just keeping it in the forefront. I know we've opened the bathrooms up, haven't had any complaints, so anything else? I know you're still in contact with Judge Jackson on a weekly basis.
No updates on my end. So we'll just continue as needed. Brings us to 7B, discussion consideration on approval of payment to contractor M&F Athletic Company for the percentage of work completed and stored, stored to date being July 31st, 2020, in the amount of $84,315.
Yeah, building's coming along. We're expected to be in there mid-November, they're saying, November the 15th. And so, as long as no leakage happening, I really don't see anything happening. It's doing, coming along. Kudos to the fire department for doing their end, getting that stuff going. So, yeah.
Make a motion to approve the payment of $84,315.
Mr. Davis makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Rutledge seconds it. Discussion between council. All those in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion passes. Brings us to 7C, discussion consideration on building requirements, restrictions, variance for 707 Shoreline Drive. Mr. John Pizano, property.
Go ahead and step up to the plate, please, John. John reached out to me last week and told me he purchased a property there at 707 Shoreline and is wanting to build a house. And so I think he has a variance request.
So, in early June, we started looking at building a house on the property we purchased adjacent to my house at 801 Shoreline. So we had solicited a couple of builders, we got the plans back, and it's gonna be, it's gonna fall 100 square feet short of 1,600 square feet. Now, when you look at that, you think it's gonna be a small house, but it's gonna have 2,400 feet under the roof. 2,100 feet under the roof, with 10-foot sidewall, so it's going to be a big structure. It'll have 1 meter, 1 water, 1 this, 1 that. Now, normally I wouldn't ask, and you say in the design spot, what's the big deal, 100 square feet, just build it bigger. But if you notice, the price of materials is going up exponentially. Stuff that was $10 last week is $20 this week. And the longer we wait, the more it's going to cost us. So I came up here to ask for a waiver of 100 square feet. What else am I missing?
Just the visibility from the street.
Yeah, we're gonna have a privacy fence. We're putting a privacy fence down the east side, west side, across the front of that lot, so it won't be visible from the street. It's gonna be a big private structure. The problem that I'm having is, it took me 6 months to get to this point right here. And to kick it back and start from scratch, I don't know where I'm gonna be. So that's why I wanna ask the waiver for 100 square feet.
Any questions?
Yeah, I'll answer any
I
questions.
just want to know it's hidden and everything.
Well, the design that we have is, the lakefront is gonna be all glass across the front, 10-foot porches. The back is just gonna be the back of the house, and probably have 2 windows in it. There's gonna be no entrance from the street side. It's gonna be right down on the lake, as close as I can legally put it to the lake,
It's 2,400 square feet.
under the roof,
21.
Yeah, it's gonna have
And the
10-foot,
long side faces the street too, the gable ends and windows.
yeah. So drive by, it would just look like a big house.
You don't have any plans in there, do you, Joe?
We have some rough ideas that we're kicking around, because it's gonna be a metal building, so the inside is what we wanna do with it. You know, whatever we want, however we wanna design it, because nothing on the interior is gonna be structural. So,
Is that with 80% masonry?
yeah, we're gonna do the 80% masonry, that's what's in our plan now. We were contemplating not doing masonry, but I don't wanna, just do brick. Masonry, it's no big deal. But it sounds like an easy plan, just to add 100 square feet, but when you gotta go back and redesign everything, it's gonna take a lot of time.
But you don't have any firm plans yet, so you could go back and add them.
No, we have plans on the structure, and I can't stretch the metal, so I can't get it out of the interior of the building. So that's where I'm at now. size of the lot overall?
Is it regular size lot?
Yeah, it's 100 by
That's
300, I think. 104 across the front, 310 down the sides. I don't know if you've seen it, it's a beautiful lot.
You don't have a picture of it, do you? Okay.
This is an older picture, aerial. This is still holding two. It's that lot right there. Very,
Can you go back to the other picture? So you're talking about the back of the house,
The house will run across here. We're gonna take this out. It's all filled concrete. We're gonna take this out and build the house there. Down on the water.
Front facing the back.
Yeah, the front of the house is facing the water.
So the back of the house is facing water, what's the front gonna be?
The back will face the street, will face shoreline. The front of the house will face the lake.
So what's the back gonna look like? It's gonna face the street with all
Just
bricks.
brick with-
Windows,
Yeah,
5-foot
couple
covered
windows,
porch,
looks like the back of the house.
Okay, so porch and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And 5-foot walks all the way around.
It doesn't sound like a big deal on 100 square feet to just overlook it and say yes, but it's just, and I hate to open that door.
Well, that door's been
down the
open
line.
many a time, I think.
I mean, I think it has mine.
Yeah.
See, but
Have there been any places approved under 600 square feet?
we did, 401 Shoreline. It was one of those ones, minimum was 1,600. She got a 1,400 square foot variance, 1,400 square foot. A lot of what that lot was, this was back in 2016, they did this. It was one of those, that lot was, from the flood and the way it was shaped, they had to build it up, and so, yeah, they were created variance too.
sounds like it's gonna be nice, and stop it. Yeah. Then bring it into line.
John, correct me if I'm wrong, but he told me it's gonna have a privacy fence along the front, the gated entrance and one of those.
Mm-hmm. That's the plan. And that'll be the next one, I gotta talk about that.
I know John and I have been in contact quite a bit. Everything he's told me seems like a very nice, top of the line thing. It was just, he sort of hit this,
Yeah,
got the plans back, 1,500 square foot, and he knew that it needed 1,600, so he asked if he could come forward on.
Any other questions? There's a motion on everything, if not, we move on.
Go ahead and make the motion to approve. 100 square foot variance.
Victor makes the motion, is there a second? Mr. Stoney second, discussion between council. All those in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion passes.
thank you very much, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Brings us to 7B, discussion consideration on the city TMRS 2021 fiscal contribution rate at 5.53%.
Yeah, I know y'all changed this in the budget for this upcoming year where y'all wanted to contribute the 2-to-1 rate. And so this changes the contribution rate. And so TMRS, needs they sent us over a ordinance that they needed y'all to sign and approve. So again, now this doesn't begin fiscal year October 1st. This begins calendar year January 1st, 2021.
That's gonna be a 2-1, all right?
It's 2-1. Sam wanted to know where it was 20 years ago.
Just for anybody out there who's wondering, right now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the city's only matching 1-to-1, which is not allowing people to retire, or well, to really get some benefits for retirement. And so this will actually enable the employees to invest in our employees, 2-to-1 instead of 1-to-1. Any questions? Entertain a motion when you're ready.
Make the motion.
Mr. Rutledge, go ahead.
The 2-to-1,
To approve the 5.53.
to the 5.53%.
Mr. Rutledge makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Crawford seconds it. Discussion between council. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passes. 27E, discussion and consideration on an ordinance 20-08 budget amendments for fiscal year 2019-2020.
Yeah, we do this every September. These are just the list of budget amendments where, we come in and only the stuff, the accounts that were over, bring them back up to positive, and the ones that had surplus in them, we bring them down to zero. Not every one of them needed adjustments, and there's still some that have funds in them because this is a weird year. We still got 2.5 more weeks of stuff. We'll still come in all the way up until September 31st, so we got to leave money in some of these accounts to pay for the year-end bills. And then once audit goes through, Edgin looks over everything and stuff like that, there'll still be some year-end adjustments.
And this is something that Edgin does require us to do,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Edgin being our city.
And last year, me and Allison both, well, the way we did it last year, he asked and requested it to be done this way to where we're going to zero it out everything, leave some money in there in accounts and stuff like that. I will say on the general side of the fund, we're about $14,540 extra that we brought in and we budgeted this year. But then also on the enterprise, we brought in mainly due to the water. We saw a good thing on the water rates. We're about $25,000 surplus there, but then we spent about $26,000 over budget on sewer and stuff like that, which we talked about in the past previous months, council meetings and stuff like that. So,
Over on two, under on one.
yeah, so I don't want to give you misinformation about what our exact year-end numbers are, because obviously we're not there yet.
You want any questions about it?
Yeah, I need a motion prior to accepting.
When it's ready.
Motion we accept the budget amendments. This year.
Jeff makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
William seconds it. Any discussion between council? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Brings us to 7F. Discussion and consideration on refuse collection rates of utility.
Yeah, so last month, y'all never approved to, correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all never approved to absorb the rate or anything like that. That wasn't, y'all told me to reach out to Waste Connections, talk to Waste Connections, see what they can do, and come back from there. So I reached out to both Jeff Ash and Mike Gaber, which are both the district, whatever representative. Mike Gaber came back to me, and he said that, I'll quote him, we have submitted our letter of breach of contract with them, but it's evergreen and takes 5 years. Said corporate will not look at adjusting your contract until closer to 2 years out. So he said there's nothing he can do right now.
It's still 2 years out from that 2-year mark.
We're 4 years out from last year, so we got 2 more years of rates going up. There's nothing we can do about it. That was according to Jeff Gabbard. And so we can, so then now it's y'all's decision. So they're not going to change the rates, give us a discount, anything like that. And again, I'll remind you that we have not changed our rates since 2013. In 2013, council changed the rates from $17.31 and increased it to $20, or from $20 to $22.75. So we haven't gone up or done anything like that. We're right now, as of today, We've only brought in $115,482.77. We have paid out to Waste Connections $113,471. So right now, as of today, we've only profited $2,000. Totally fine. This is y'all's decision. All I would advise is somewhere in there, we're gonna have to make some kind of money off of it. I mean, to at least pay for the roads. Where else do you start paying for the roads, make income off of that? Do we let our roads keep getting torn up, have problems, and then you're gonna start having people upset about the roads? So then, couple cities, the way they do, and I'm just throwing out suggestions. You keep the rates the way they are. You can just look at doing a street fee or utility bill. There's some cities that charge street fees. And go, you more or less pay into that, you go through things and go from there. But there's several options, but I just know that Mike Davis said they're not going to give us any kind of price discount. Now, keep in mind, fortunately, due to COVID, diesel prices have stayed under the $2.80 a gallon. If they go over $2.80 a gallon, our price starts going up.
We'll lose that $2,000 cushion that we kind of have right now. I don't raise it too much. I'd rather see the sewer take care of itself and be raised to do all the stuff we're fixing to do there than here. I think the streets are, we've got that certificate obligation to pay for a lot of that. So as of right now, I mean, other than the fuel costs, I would be fine with leaving it, just making what we're making off of it.
Yeah. We could ride it out for another year and see how.
If I'm reading this right, they charge us $19.49 for one can, and we're charging $22.75. So there's a little bit of $3.25 per month per can.
So we do have to pay in sales tax to it, to both the state and to Archer County.
But then on the second can is where we're really not making anything.
Yeah. It's the double and the triple cans that we are the ones, that's where you're losing the most money on.
I would say if we make any adjustments, we make adjustments for those who have multiple cans.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
No, we haven't done
Don't want to
it.
be talking on. So right now, you're charging $24.51 for one can. Total for two cans, $27.89, and total for three cans, $34.32 is what you're charging.
Can you say that again?
$24.51 for one can, $27.89 for two cans, $34.32 for three cans, and that's including tax. My recommendation was only go up, just to make it to break even, was just go up 49 cents a month on the single cans. So it'd be an even $25 for one can, and then you hit the ones with two cans and three cans bigger. So it'd be $30.95 for two cans and $36.89 for three cans.
Two cans,
$30.95
and three.
$36.89.
So you're talking $2 or $3 increase on multiple cans.
And what that would give our profit margin is still not, I mean, nowhere near what the rates were in 2013, and then when they increased them, they were making, you know, $2.75 off a single can, while we're making 49 cents. So. This is y'all's decision.
You have the numbers, I seen them last month, but I don't remember what they were. How many two cans and three cans?
Right now, we have 453 that have one can. There's 129 of those that have two cans. And there's 5 of those that have 3 cans.
I'm fine with can increase, and I think to have to only go up a few dollars, I think that's fine. Okay, that's where we need to be.
Fuel prices aren't gonna stay that way. I would rather be proactive on it, knowing that it's not going to stay low.
maybe a little ahead, but like I said, I don't want to get too crazy with everything else that
Yeah.
raised.
What would the profit amount be if we raised these projected numbers per month versus now? Like how much we looking at?
You roughly make about 14,000 off of it, $14,385.78.
That's a year.
Which, that ain't gonna get you anywhere in the streets, but, and I'm not saying use this money for street repair, but now what we make off of our trash service, we cannot turn back around and use for sewer. We cannot turn back around and use it for water. Can't do that. We can't make the profit to fix sewer tanks. No, we can't do that.
Any other discussion?
I don't like to do it, but I don't think they have a choice. Make it $2,000. I think it's good enough doing that.
I think what's gonna hurt is if they increase the fuel, that's where it's gonna get us at. That's where it got us last time. And that's why we had to bring them in and renegotiate the whole contract.
And keep in mind, there is labor on our end, the city's end of it, you know, somebody's trash can lid break, something like that. Citizen calls us, Don has to come pick up one and take one out there, so there's labor for him doing that. Obviously, there's labor on her and setting it up and utility building section and all that stuff like that. So, I mean, I agree with y'all. You don't want to up the rates and everything else, but at some point you're gonna have to.
Especially with this first increase in 7 years.
So we're talking about just the trash can increases, what we're talking about? Yeah. Couple dollars on that, it's no big deal.
Again, for those that have one trash can, which is the majority of the people out here, you're 49 cents a month. I mean, that's $6 a year. I mean,
It's 2/3 of the trash cans.
I think that's been access on the fuel costs and anything in the future now, I think that,
Fuel gets-
yeah, that's what I'm saying, yes.
What were we paying? You know what we were paying back in the day for the contract? It was
What were we paying before they raised the rates in 2013? They were originally paying $17.31.
No, what were getting billed? But we were getting billed from them, just astronomical numbers.
Oh, before they redid the fuel rate?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were paying like $13,000 a month. Now we pay roughly, with this rate increase, it's around $9,100.
I would entertain a motion if we have any more on this one.
I'm gonna make a motion that we just, go up on trash can rates as here. That's fine.
So you want them, one trash can, total cost $25, two trash cans, total cost $30.95. Three trash cans, total cost $36.89.
Yes.
Here, makes the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Sure, second, says discussion between council. All those in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion passes. Brings us to 7G, discussion and consideration on awarding contract for RFQ number 2020-01 residential septic system inspection and pumping services.
Yes, so we typed up a almost 8-page RFQ that was published twice in the Archie County paper and then, sent it out. I reached out to all three local people, Lone Star, Ajon, and IMC, and the only two that submitted bids back was sealed up there, Ajon and Lone Star Waste. And so, this was all based upon the recommendations of the sewer task force, the way. And I will say this, the whole thing about these inspections are we gotta, just as Steve said, we gotta cut the I and I back. Figuring out where to start cutting the I back, you gotta have, just like the sewer task force met for 6 meetings now. You gotta have somewhere to come up with how to solve cutting the I and I back. I mean, these guys met for 9 months. I mean, nine guys met for the past 6 weeks. I give them kudos because they put their neck on the line, everything else, and come up with it. And it's the naysayers that are not a part of it that are bringing the biggest kickback on it all. So kudos to Larry Sturgis and Scott Storm and all the other 7 members that are on there that stuck with it and did it all. And so those are sealed, haven't been opened, taped up and everything else. So those are for you to open up, look at, and see, and then award. You each have, when Jeff submitted his stuff, and they were all submitted Friday morning, they were supposed to be in Friday by noon. When Jeff submitted his stuff, he turned in one that has laying right there in front of you, that's Lake City, that has the sealed bids in it. Everything else that y'all have is just information packets. I mean, A. John submitted that. Dan Bachman spoke with him, very good guy, and so.
Just read it out.
Well, yeah, you'll need to read it out loud.
Pardon, today, September 11th, 2020. Option 1, inspection of septic system and capping of lateral lines in pump tank, $150. Tough tile concrete adapter ring, $30. Tough tile 6-inch riser, $30. Tough tile 1 foot riser, $35. Tough tile safety ring, $30. Tough pipe lid, $25. Pumping of grease trap tank tank and septic tank, $275.
So it should have like, in the RFQ, it should, there's bid 1, bid 2, bid 3, bid 4, and bid 5, all based upon recommendations from them. What was the total for bid 1?
Yeah. So that was option 1. $150, 30, then 30, 35, 30, 25.
Hold on. 150,
150, 30, another 30, 35, 30, 25, 275.
okay.
Mhm.
But the way you read that was depending on what size
Yes.
it changed, depending on what size riser you had to have, so it's really not true.
So I don't know how you want me to.
So worst case scenario, it's 575.
So it was
So that's
150,
different size riser, so that's.
150 for capping lateral lines, concrete adapter ring, $30. And there's either a 6 1 foot, so it's between the 2 risers, the most expensive one's $35. There's a safety ring that's $30.
I mean, the RFQs were pretty clear on, so what's bid
That's what
number
I got.
2? What's bid number 2?
So option 2, inspection and capping of lateral lines and pump tank chamber, $150. Pumping of grease trap tank and septic tank, $275.
What about there?
Or 25.
Number 3?
Option 3, inspection and capping of lateral lines in pump tank, $150. Pumping of the pump tank, $75. 24. Option 4, to have camera locate inaccessible septic tank and grease trap, $250. Option 5, removal and installation of new alarm box with audio and visual alarm, $250. And you can put the model number down here. So I want to go back to 1 just to be clear on the total, the worst case scenario. It was $150. There was an adapter ring that was $30. The 1 foot riser was $35. So there's a safety ring that's $30 and a lid that's $25, plus the pumping of grease, trap tank, and septic tank, which is $275.
Yeah, but most tanks, there's a grease trap and a septic tank, so there's gonna be 2 of each of those.
I said grease trap and septic tank.
Okay. $575.
That's everything.
Yeah.
I think what you just said, I've got 545.
You gotta include 2 adapter rings, 2 lids, 2 risers.
You're about 45.
Does that include 2 adapter rings, 2 lids, 2 risers?
Says tough tight safety ring, tough tight lid.
Yeah, but how much is of safety ring? You're gonna have 2 of those. You're gonna have 2 lids, you're gonna have 2 rings. So you're gonna have to factor that in there.
I'll give you this.
Let me see.
That's exactly what I said.
You just have to double. He didn't obviously know it could be.
No, it's, I'll say,
So that should be around.
okay. So do this math. 150, you're gonna need 2 adapter rings, a total of $60, 2 risers. And I'm gonna do worst case scenario, 1 foot, $70, 2 safety rings, $60, 2 lids, $50. Pumping of grease trap is $275. That's worst case scenario.
665.
Okay, you gonna open up the other ones?
So good on Lone Star wastewater services. This is dated 8/19/20. Oh, this is our RFQ, sorry.
You can see the RFQs, and I'll be glad to share it with anybody. Very detailed and ask for specifics.
Yeah, we,
All right, bid 1, inspection checklist complete, photos taken and submitted electronically, risers installed on both grease trap tank and septic tank, lateral lines capped inside city pump chamber tank, and all tanks pumped. All cleanouts must be photographed, inspected, and capped to prevent I&I. Must specify the bid type of risers to install. Submittals need to be provided, tough tight 16-inch, 500-gallon septic. A grease trap would be $543.70, and a 1,000-gallon septic and grease trap would be $626.65. Bid 2, inspection checklist complete, photos taken and submitted electronically, lateral lines capped inside city pump chamber tank, all tanks pumped, and no risers installed due to already being installed. All cleanouts must be photographed, inspected, and captured with I-9. 500-gallon septic and grease trap, $340.20. 1,000-gallon septic and grease trap, $422.70. Bid 3, inspection checklist complete to best ability, unable to inspect completely due to lids being inaccessible. Ladder lines capped inside city pump chamber tank and city pump chamber pumped and inspected. All cleanouts must be photographed, inspected, and captured to prevent I&I if possible. Pump out green tank and all other above, $230.35. Bid 4, find/locate and mark inaccessible access ports. Only locate, no demolition involved. Locate if possible with flushable irrigator. $175. Bid 5, install new audible alarm and LED red light box for high level alerts. Submittals need to be provided for new alarm box. New SPI box with audible and visual alarms installed, $341.75. Converted existing boxes with buzzers with a test switch to get $165.
What's the difference between 341 and 165? What was Instead of putting a whole new box at 341.75, 165 is the current one on there, just add the beeper and.
So just using the existing boxes with buzzer with test switch. $165. If anybody would like to see this, we won't have to pass this down. No, bid.
Yes. When is the next meeting? I'm sure that's for.
Tuesday. And the second one you read was Lone Star, right?
That's correct.
In all categories, he's cheaper except for the, on the red light box. And that was, we're not even 100% sure, according to Sewer Task Force, if we're gonna do that on everyone or not. That's just still up to them. More or less getting inspections, find out where worst case I&I is, and start addressing it there. I mean, you gotta know where your I&I is and your leaks, and address it that way.
Also submitted with this was a letter plus all of his registration with TCEQ licensing. There's also photos. Photos of what I would guess be the lids and the tough risers. Estimated as far as the products being used. Brown, but slow that down there, view. We talked about that in your time, and this time. We talked about that
this something we have to vote on tonight?
Is this one discussion?
Yeah, you can do
Is it something that we can table so the sewer committee can look at it and make sure it meets their
Exactly what I was
requirements?
thinking.
Sure. We should get Tuesday night, sewer task force committee. What's the agenda, 72 hours, let them look at it, make their decision, come back with a recommendation to y'all.
But it does meet their specifications.
Can all this be sent to the whole crew so that
I'll
way?
to scan all that in, send it to them, and everything else. Now, is this something y'all want to do, once sewer task force looks at it, makes their recommendation, you want to wait all the way till the next week in October to award the bid, and get the process going, and what results? I just give you a heads up idea what y'all.
I think once they make their, if it meets their specification, and makes their recommendation, we can have a special meeting to set the
award bid.
award the bid.
I agree.
That's the motion I made.
Table, and let the sewer task force look at it, and then special meeting once they have had their meeting and give a recommendation.
Perfect.
We need a motion for that? Okay, this is table, right?
I need a motion to table it, and then need a motion to table the sewer task force.
So you so moved on that?
I so
Ms. Rutledge has a motion, is there a second? Ms. Williams seconds it, discussion between council. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Motion passes. That brings us to, other council matters. Start with, Mr. Singleton.
I don't have anything, I would like to ask Eric, if you just include us on those two bids, send them to us, too.
Y'all should be getting carbon copies on everything that I send to the sewer task force. Y'all should be getting carbon copies. I will do that, yes.
That's all I got.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Rutledge.
I have two, where we at on the fire hydrant testing?
We're about 75% done. You guys doing good on it. I know they were, in front of Mr. Bradshaw's got that all documented, their pictures, everything else. They also got the one down at Edgewater and several on the west side. So they're constantly working on it.
We're probably gonna need that
They're
working like they should.
Yeah, working like they should. They haven't had any problems with any, you'd be astounded how good pressure we actually do have coming back from there and everything else now. Yeah.
Okay, my second one is where we stand on the fence on this property up here.
Good question. There's poles up.
That was up in the spring. I didn't know, heard anything else from them.
No, I have not. No, I'm sorry, I haven't. I will be glad to reach out to
Can you
you.
reach out to them, see where it's at?
Yes, sir.
That's all I have.
Well, thanks.
Jeff, thank you for the packet of information, is very beneficial. Appreciate your time on that.
Absolutely.
Very good.
I don't, it's everything I went through.
The only thing I have is, Mr. Hawley, we'll look into it as far as if you have a question about an agenda item that allow you to speak during that time. And that's something we can definitely look at. On the second one is, we don't know what bids we're getting because they're still bidding. So
No, I know that. Why not? I'm not talking about that. Something that may have helped, and I'm just gonna throw this out, is under where you're gonna amend the budget. A lot of people don't understand those processes. So a simple little something or another under there to say, we were over on general, we were over on water, but we were behind on sewer, we need to move some money, or we need to do this. That little tiny little bit, everything's gone. Now okay, got it. I don't know that you need, we never got into great detail, and it was 8 years ago, not 20. I'm not that old.
Well,
He does, man, I'm like, oh gosh.
I didn't mean to, yeah, so I apologize to you for saying that.
No, but that's something we can look into, appreciate you bringing it to us, and I'll talk to Eric and So we'll definitely get something together, so I definitely appreciate that. But I do want to, let's say, as far as the bids,
Nobody sees it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's their own.
So we don't know who's gonna, we don't know who's gonna do it, so, unfortunately on that one, we can't predict that, so.
Sure.
I hope that answered the question, I will definitely consider the other ones, to look into that, so.
Thanks.
Again, thank you for Mr. Storm and the rest of the sewer task force for your time that you put there. We look forward to hearing back from you soon. I have nothing else, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Chair makes a motion to adjourn. Second. Second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, say no.
I didn't.